That's fantastic. That's really great. Great initiative. Love it. Love it.
Call it Mortgage Center, right?
My company?
Yeah.
Loan Central.
Loan Center.
Loan
Okay,
Central. Yeah.
perfect, yeah. So we'll edit things as we go.
Sure.
Welcome everyone to our podcast. It's called Why Wait? Real Estate. Today we have the pleasure at the property show in Mississauga to meet with David from the Loan Central. Thank you very much, David, for having us. It's been
pleasure.
a pleasure meeting with you, your team. We also have Vatsal Shah, a real estate sales rep, and we would love to talk about what is Loan Central.
Okay, well, Loan Central is a lending agency, and our brokerage is actually Real Mortgage Associates. Real Mortgage Associates is based out of Hamilton. I work mainly in the Toronto area, but they handle all of our compliance and a very good company. We're mortgage brokers, so that means that we can deal with any lender, whether it's a bank, private lender, an alternative lending institution. We help people find the right money for their lending needs.
That's amazing. So let's backtrack a little bit and start off with who is David and how did you get started in this business?
Well, let's see, I was in high-tech sales for many years, account management. I have an MBA, a business degree from York University, which is now known as Schulich.
Yes.
Eventually, after about 15 years in the corporate world, I decided it was time to get off of the treadmill and to do my own thing. So
Absolutely.
after about a year of exploring what options there were for me, I decided that mortgage brokering was my calling, if you will. So I went for it, and I've been a mortgage agent for 13 years, and there's been no looking back.
Wow, that is a great career. You know, we can obviously tell you fancy numbers. You know, from your background, mortgages are very natural to you. So you mentioned a few things that your company does, and we'd like to love to learn about it. You mentioned alternate lenders. What is that?
Okay, so I learned pretty early on when becoming a mortgage agent that it's not a lot of fun to compete with the banks, because banks, most people go to the banks when everything is perfect. You know, they
Yes.
have provable income, salary jobs, perfect credit, and so on and so forth. And oftentimes people go to the banks because they just want the best rate. And in business, one thing that I've learned is that unless you're Walmart or a bank, it's competing on price is not the best way to go. So I found early on that there was a niche market in alternative lending, so borrowers who are self-employed. As an example, borrowers who are self-employed, they will minimize the income they report for tax purposes.
Write-offs.
And then they go to the bank, and the bank says, you don't make enough money, you don't qualify for a mortgage.
Oh no.
Okay, so we have alternative lending institutions who specialize in dealing with self-employed people. You have people who have credit issues for different reasons. You have land developers who want to develop land. Sometimes they buy properties that are in a state of disrepair or poorly managed. There's an opportunity to go in, get a property. They need to close quickly. Can't close quickly with a bank, and if the bank sees the property that's in poor condition, they also don't want to lend on it. So that's where private investors and private lenders come in. And once the property is cleaned up and it's cash flowing better, then you can refinance at 3.5% at the bank. But initially, the banks are too strict to lend on those kinds of deals.
So basically you have more also work with B lenders and private lenders both?
Exactly. B lenders, C lenders,
C
D lenders, E lenders.
Z lenders.
You got it.
That's amazing.
So give us a range. So like someone who cannot qualify with the top five, what are for residential or for commercial, what are the rates that they are looking at when it comes to private lending?
Okay, so first of all, let me just say that I've had people who've come to me over the years, and they were, I remember once I had a guy, he came to me, he was declined by TD Bank. I actually got him a mortgage at TD Bank.
Wow.
Okay, because
How
the
is that
person,
possible?
well, sometimes you're dealing with people at the banks who, they're handling deposits and RRSPs and all kinds of things, and they don't always know how to package a deal. All we had to do for this guy was have him pay out certain debts to bring his debt service ratios into line. It was really not that complicated. So knowing how to package a deal, I've had people come to me in many cases over the years where, and sometimes maybe a person is not strong enough, I'll say, well, do you have somebody who can co-sign for you? Or maybe, can you come up with a little bit more down payment? So we can oftentimes, like our job as independent mortgage agents is to help people find the best deal, how to structure it. So there are many times when we can get them that bank money. If it cannot be done at a bank, then the rates can go from 4% and they can go up to 12% for a second mortgage, right? So it depends on the loan to value, which means how much debt there is relative to the property value, and where is the property, what's the profile of the borrower. So there's a lot of factors.
It's a huge range involved depending on, and if I am understanding correct, the bank staff, because of the numerous responsibilities that they don't really have a peculiarity or like that interest that a broker may have for their client.
That's right, and these are people who are, their salary jobs, and they go home at night and they forget about everything that happened during the day, right? I had a guy once, the bank told him, for sure you're gonna get this mortgage, no problem. He goes out, he buys a property with a 5-day financing condition. Day 1, the guy's like on vacation. Day 2, he's in a meeting. Day 3, he can't get a hold. Day 4, he says,
Wow.
We can't get you the mortgage. We
Oh
didn't
my
realize, we
God.
thought you were a regular employee. You told me you made X, but we didn't ask you enough questions. You're actually self-employed because you're a contractor and you're not gonna qualify at the bank. So they came to me on Thursday. I got them the money Friday.
Wow.
In one day. It was more expensive. The rate was around 5%. That the guy was really happy because he bought a place that he lived in with his wife, and he created 2 apartments. So even though he had a little bit higher rate, he had a cash flow from these 2 units. The bank wasn't going to lend him the money. We got him the money. We still talk today. Very happy guy.
That's amazing. So tell us, how does a realtor and a mortgage broker work in this world, given the conditions we are? Explain to us like what are the relationships and how do you work together?
Oh, sorry. That was for you.
So
I
actually, what happens is we have a client, and we need to, in today's market, we need to have him qualified. So we work with mortgage agents to qualify our client, the buyer client, and that's when we start showing properties after. The first thing is
So not before
prior-
you qualify them,
we don't-
you know they are good clients.
The
you know they
market
can
has
qualify.
changed actually. It was different before. Traditionally, we would be showing properties and then doing the mortgage, but now since the market has changed and the prices have gone up, so the most important thing with the mortgage rules changing, it's more important to have him qualified before we start showing him
That's great.
a property.
So what happens, David, when Watsall brings you a client? What kind of qualification? What are you doing in the background, ensuring a realtor is ready to go show the next property?
A very good question. Well, we have to talk to the borrowers about a few different things. Number 1, do they have any down payment? That's important. Number 2, what's the income situation like? Are they self-employed? Do they have regular salary jobs? What do they do? How long have they been at the job? Is that income bonus, commission, or just straight salary? Are they permanent? Are they part-time? We really need to know all of these things. And the last thing is credit. We need to know what the story is with their credit, and we can check their credit. and we can make sure, because sometimes people think their credit is great. I've had people come to me and say, oh, my credit's great. Well, they've had no credit. They've never borrowed any money. They think their credit's great because they never borrowed any money, right? But really they check the bureau and there's no credit at all, right? So it's a bit of a game. I mean, you go out, you get a credit card for $10,000. You don't even need to use it, but at least you'll have a credit score, right? And sometimes there's mistakes on the credit, right? Yeah. You know, so it's important. Yeah.
Equifax is they do a lot of kind of
mistakes.
Mistakes, yeah. Like similar names could have this somebody like I had a case where my client's name was Pritesh Patel. There's
the two of
millions
them.
of Patels in the market. So and
everyone
actually
owns a hotel.
This guy, there were two Pritesh Patels, and the credit wasn't. Yeah, they mixed up their mortgages.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and this guy was a first-time home buyer. The other guy already owned a home, and his credit was on this guy. So it showed a mortgage on a TD Bank loan on the new guy.
So, you know, you don't want to be like, 3 days into a 5-day financing condition, and then you look at the guy's credit report and you realize that there's a problem with it. And so
it takes a while to change that, clean it up.
So that's good that he's coming to you, you're qualifying them, and then you're starting the process way before the offer is accepted.
Absolutely, because nobody wants to waste their time. The real estate agent's not going to want to spend time. The purchaser, there's no point for them to looking at $1.5 million homes.
Absolutely.
If all they're going to qualify for is $1 million.
Yeah.
So it's an important step.
So while we were talking at the conference, you mentioned something also about training other people on regularly, and so what is all that about, and how does that work with your business?
Okay, well, I run a mortgage clinic at my office in Vaughan. So we meet every Thursday. We meet from 10 a.m. to noon. Okay. And then the following Thursday we meet in the evening from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
And the reason we started doing that is because people said to me, I would love to come to the mortgage clinic, but I'm in a regular job, which I can't stand and I want to get out of, but I just can't come during the day. So that's why we started the evening session. So we do this every week, and there are people there who are we have mortgage agents coming from other companies, and I say come and learn with us. And if they start doing a lot of deals all of a sudden, I'll say, look, maybe you should consider switching over to our company. Why are you still with your company if they're not giving you any training or support? But it's really a networking and learning. We have real estate investors, people coming. We have real estate agents coming. Anybody who wants to learn and network, and that's what it's all about.
That's fabulous. So tell us, where is this located, and is it free? Do you charge anyone?
No, we don't charge.
Okay, that's wonderful.
It's on Keel Street in Vaughan, 8600 Keel Street, near Rutherford, and we don't charge, it's a great opportunity. So people should reach out to me and to confirm full details.
Absolutely. We're going to put that on show notes as well.
Awesome. So,
and you have free coffee and snacks there?
We have that. Yes, absolutely. We can't forget about the coffee, right? Yeah, and the donuts.
The hardworking mortgage brokers.
Yes, we have. Yeah. Yes, we always have coffee and Timbits. Yes.
Fantastic.
There's no There's not a meeting if you don't have coffee.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right.
So that's amazing.
That's an incentive for us to join this show.
Absolutely.
Definitely, we're going to come next week, and
we'll check it out, and we would love to sort of see the value that you're providing, and love to kind of capture that, learn more, network with like-minded individuals. So thank you very much, David, for coming on such a short notice. I really appreciate.
Thank you. You guys are
so
great
much.
guys, and this is an amazing initiative that you're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hope
Thank
it's
you.
very
Thank you so
successful.
much.
So there is only one thing left to say. Why wait? Real estate. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
guys.
Thank you
Great
so
job.
much.
Great interview.